she will do all of her research digitally. She knows more about larger areas or a smaller home or whatever it might be. So of those, I believe 7 of them are Michelin-starred restaurants. Naughty, I suppose. A normal routine is to get up, take the dog for a walk, go to the gym, going to the office, sort of stroll into the office, cause mayhem for a couple of hours, have lunch. You never go to work a day in your life, and for me that's very, very much the case. Where I love real estate. I love the people that I sell homes for. I love the people that I buy.
So Jason, can you just take us to the beginning, how this journey started with luxuryproperty.com? Like how it is, like what is the starting thing happened and how it is started?
Well, first and foremost, thank you so much for your very, very kind invitation to be on your podcast. I'm here in Napa Valley at the moment in California. So it's late over here, very, very early where you guys are, I know. I'm in the States with my family. It's been my son's graduation from university, actually, so it's been quite a pleasant experience. And now I'm busy selling real estate over here, actually, at the moment, which is quite good fun. But thank you so much for your very kind invite. I started luxuryproperty.com in 2017, and I'd sold my previous companies in the United States. And I had relocated to Dubai, and I was looking to put together a technology company that to market luxury real estate, and that's when the business started back in 2017.
That's wonderful. So, luxury property was a dream or a market gap that was filled?
Gosh, it was both, to be very, very honest with you. I had a huge fascination for architecture, an enormous fascination with digital and the way that digital would actually contribute to selling real estate. So in many respects, I saw a clear gap in the market, where most real estate portals were either quite clunky, or indeed they were a little bit sort of impersonal. So I had a sort of a dream, if you wish, or I envisaged a digital platform that could combine sort of incredible technology with exceptional talent and great content. And I was looking for a sort of like a white gloved experience. And in many respects, I sort of wanted to build a legacy, a brand that would define how luxury real estate was going to be sort of viewed and experienced globally.
That's wonderful. That's amazing to hear. So, when we start something like that's from the beginning, from the scratch. So,
Yes.
Because you're an entrepreneur, so I want to ask you, did you start it from the scratch, or you got some sort of funding from your family, friends, and what are the challenges did you face while building? Because that will help the viewers and the listeners who are low down in their life and they want to do or build something really great.
No, I bootstrapped the business, so I funded it myself. It's hard work. It continues to be hard work. You never stop in terms of the innovation and all that you're trying to deliver. We don't have any third party funding. I own the business 100%. It's been hard work. It's been really, really hard work. One of the largest or the greatest challenges that you face when you're trying to develop a global luxury brand is talent acquisition. It's not always easy finding people who share that vision, and it's not always it's not everyone who can deliver at that level as well. So for me, scaling globally whilst maintaining exclusivity was another factor that we had to try and overcome. The multiple languages of our clients, the multiple currencies, the cultures, the different ways that they describe real estate. Some people describe an apartment as a flat. Some people call it a condominium. So there's all of those little things that sort of contribute to making life a little bit more difficult and interesting.
Okay. So that's very interesting and wonderful to know this, because how do you work lucky to get, this is how like,
yes, I think it was Greg Norman, the golfer, who said that. The harder I work, the luckier I get. I think that is the case, and it's success is not a straight line, linear. It doesn't go sort of like take off like a rocket. It's a lot of trial and error. It's an awful lot of experience is a name that I give to life's mistakes. Is a phrase that I use a lot. This is my third successful venture, so I've built and scaled and successfully exited 2 companies. This is my third company. One would think that it'd probably get easier, but it doesn't. With the advent of technology and with the advent of different social norms, etc., it's you're constantly learning. And anybody who thinks that they've got it and they know it, they don't. That's for sure.
That's true. Absolutely correct. Okay, so Jason, what challenges like the ultra rich people they face? Are they a quick decision maker? Like, are they? They visit the property and they buy, and otherwise they check online virtually and they buy. So ultra rich people, how they choose property? What is the lead time of conversion?
I don't think there's any difference between a ultra high net worth individual, or normal individuals in terms of how they're choosing homes. It's people are very voyeuristic by nature. I think everything, of course, is digital. Everything. The entire buying process with luxuryproperty.com is digital. You're searching for a home. Some people are at the start of their journey where they're thinking about moving countries, or they're thinking about changing their homes, getting a larger home or a smaller home or whatever it might be. Some guys are much further down the line, and they're sort of like, they specifically know the type of home that they want, the area that they want, the price that they're prepared to pay. And I think that the buying behaviors of our clients, regardless of their net worth, is the same across every price point. And I think that's the same around the world. You have some client, like my wife as an example, she's very specific when she's buying homes. She knows exactly what she wants, and she will only sort of engage with a real estate agent at a time when she's actually ready to move forward and actually start viewing properties and looking to bid on them. She will do all of her research digitally. She knows more about, I always feel sorry for the poor real estate brokers, because she will know more about the offering in the market than probably the real estate brokers do in many respects. And we see that an awful lot with our clients, discerning clients who basically will do all of their real estate research and activity while sat at the breakfast table, to be fair.
Amazing. So everything is really tech oriented, and they don't need to visit, they can check and buy, right? That's great.
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I'm saying, so that's amazing. This is like how through tech, we can help people to check everything virtually and take the decision.
Yeah, I think so. I think people always want to touch and feel. So I'm always of the view that there will be a physical inspection of a property and a physical viewing, because you want to sort of get a feel for the ambience of the home. You'd want to understand the light. The light in the morning might be different to the light in the afternoon, as an example.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what percentage of your buyers, they actually live in the property they purchase? Luxury ones, like ultra tech rich people?
I'm going to say 100%. I mean, I think the majority of our buyers are, what we call end users. So they are buying a home for themselves or for family members to use. A number of our clients might be investors, to be fair. They might be buying some investment properties, but the overwhelming majority will be end users who are acquiring homes at, 10, 20, 30, $40 million. And they're choosing those homes for themselves. They're looking at, the layouts of the homes, the smart technology. They're looking at the wellness spaces. They're looking at, the gardens and the flow of the home and the energy of the home as well. So the majority of our clients are buying for their end use.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Okay, so Jason, Dubai is like ultra, like rich luxury lifestyle, beauty, everything. So is it like only rich people can afford Dubai, or like normal people can also think of like living the dream or luxury lifestyle?
Dubai's incredible. I love Dubai. I mean, I really love Dubai. It is home for us. It's home for, both Jack and Molly are at university. Well, Jack's just graduated, but, both of the guys are at uni. But Dubai's home. When we talk about home, we talk about Dubai. And it's got a price point for everybody. So if you've got $300,000, you will find a gorgeous apartment in Dubai. If you have got $300 million, you will find a gorgeous home in Dubai. It truly has something for everyone and everybody. And whilst the homes may differ in terms of, their opulence or in terms of how large they are or whatever it might be, what doesn't differ is the experience of living in Dubai, how incredibly safe it is, how the infrastructure is so world class, how the education and the healthcare is so excellent, how we have the most tolerant society in the world with over 200 nationalities, living harmoniously together, regardless of race or creed or religion or anything like that. So, Dubai's not just for the wealthy, for the rich, for the uber rich. Normal people, whatever that definition is. I hope I'm normal. Normal people live and buy homes in Dubai, and we've got homes for sale across all price points, and it's proving to be one of the most sought after destinations in the world for people who are looking to relocate for a better life. And not everybody who comes into the city is a billionaire or a millionaire. We have thankfully a lot of very, very, very normal people.
Yes, I agree with you. That's so true, because there are so many friends and relatives. They shifted to Dubai just for a year or 2 years, but now it's been more than 20 years and they are not coming back.
Yep.
Love Dubai.
Yeah. Absolutely, and you sort of and you hear that all the time, and it's such a the best advertisement for Dubai is the people who live there and the people who elect to live there, and your friends and family, I'm sure, could live possibly anywhere, and yet they choose to stay in Dubai. And for us, we very, very similar. We didn't imagine that we'd be there a decade later, and I'm quite sure that we'll be there for the next decade as well.
Yeah. So, okay, Jason, I'll give you the name of few places of Dubai, and you need to tell me who can afford it, billionaire or millionaire. It's just a quick rapid fire.
Okay, shoot, go ahead. Try.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll start with Palm Jumeirah. Okay, Palm Jumeirah.
Most expensive home sold at $830 million to somebody who but I can't tell you who it is, but you will know who they are. They're very, very famous. That's the most expensive home on Palm Jumeirah. The cheapest home on the Palm Jumeirah is probably going to be an apartment around about I'm going to say the 3 million dirham mark. So zillionaires, billionaires, millionaires, normal can live on the Palm Jumeirah.
Okay. Okay. And downtown Dubai?
Ooh, that's really good. I live in downtown Dubai, right next to the Opera House. So I'm going to say normal people, because that would be me. But in the building right next door to me is an apartment that we're selling, a penthouse to be fair. And it is, from memory, I think it's 250 million dirhams. So that would be
550.
250 million dirhams
Wow.
for I think it's a 5-bedroom apartment in a beautiful building called Il Primo. And so that would probably take you into the billionaire category. Gorgeous, gorgeous apartments all across downtown Dubai. Normal, again, normal millionaire, zillionaire, billionaire can live in downtown Dubai. There's that sort of broad spectrum of offering available.
Okay, interesting. Okay, Atlantis the Royal.
Ah, yeah. Do you know any restaurants that are at Antis the Royal?
Uh, is it bill for billionaire or millionaire?
Well, there are 17 restaurants in that development.
Atlantis the
17
Royal.
in Atlantis the Royal.
Okay.
1
Okay.
second. Of those, I believe 7 of them are Michelin-starred restaurants. So Atlantis the Royal is definitively the finest address in Dubai for apartment living, without a shadow of a doubt. I absolutely love it. And here is my top tip. I think that building will win the Pulitzer Prize for architecture in years to come. It really is that spectacular. I'm going to say millionaires, but we do have, so we've got about 4 units for sale there. I think they're around about 70 million dirhams, which is 20 million US dollars, technically. So I'm going to say millionaires. And there is a very, very large apartment for sale. I'm told it will be coming to the market around about 300 million dirhams, I think it is. So you probably have to be a billionaire to get your hands on that one. So a little bit of base, but incredible developments and one of my favorites.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So what's Jason's favorite? Dubai Mall or Mall of Emirates?
Neither, I think so.
Or none? Or none?
And definitely none. I'm going to say none.
Okay.
If I had to go, so obviously Christmas for Mrs. H, I have to go shopping. I will go to the Dubai Mall, and I will get lost. We live right next door to it, but I never spend any time there. It's the most incredible shopping experience. I would go Dubai Mall, but I think
And the Burj Khalifa view is incredible.
yes, Dubai Mall, but only once a year, and any other time is just I've been dragged there to do something that they want to do.
Okay. Okay. Private jet or private island?
Ooh, private island easily. I'm going to say North Island in the Seychelles, Eco Island, really quite spectacular. Great diving. I'm a dive master. Great scuba diving. So private island easily.
All right. When did you earn your first $1 million? At what age?
What in the United Kingdom at the age of 32. So I'm going to say, yep. I think I was one of the youngest in the United Kingdom to make this 100 times riches. I think my first million, I'm going to say 26. 26. So I'd left university and I had a very, very large student accommodation company. And I'm going to say about 26, but it could have been a bit younger.
Ooh, amazing. All right. Okay. Millionaire at 30 or billionaire at 60? Which one is like your choice?
To be alive at 60. I think health is wealth, to be very, very honest with you. I think, it's all very well being a billionaire. I think that's great, but you have to be alive and happy and sort of, make sure that you've got your work-life balance right. So I'm probably going to say just to be alive at 60 would be marvelous. And billionaire status is easy. There's nothing there's nothing to that. Billionaire status is it's quite easily achievable. I'm more looking to create a legacy for my family, my children, their children, with our digital platform. So if that happens for them, if the billionaire status comes for them in sort of in 20 years time, I'll be perfectly happy sat in my rocking chair smiling.
That's so nice. So, what legacy you want to leave behind through luxuryproperty.com? What one thing that people will always, when they think of luxury property, this is the legacy that Jason has have created. What do you want to leave behind?
Another really good question, actually. I suppose I quite like that legacy of being everything's achievable, I suppose. From what started as an idea, a concept, to we're a decade later, and we're still nowhere near what we want to achieve. I mean, absolutely nowhere near. But you have to imagine that the marketplace is, for years, one of our closest competitors has been they've been in business for 160 years. 160 years. And I had lunch with one of their managing director chaps. And he was busy sort of chatting about his digital footprint and this, that, and the other. And I was chuckling to myself. I didn't say anything. I wasn't going to be rude, but I was chuckling to myself. I was thinking, yeah, okay. And actually getting more digital users to my platform than you guys are. And you're 160 years old. So I suppose I want my legacy to be the ultimate disruptor, and it'll take time and it won't be easy. And every day, of course, is a challenge. But the legacy of, there's no such thing as it can't be done. And, with hard work and endeavor and with trying to make sure that, you've kept your values and that you've kept your integrity through the process, and that you've built something that's got incredibly strong foundations. I see no reason why you can't, actually take on these large corporates and win. And that's what we're doing, really quietly, really slowly. And then I think one day our legacy might be, who on earth are these guys and where did they come from? And maybe that's what our legacy is going to be. But yes, and either that or being known as the funniest chap in the room, I don't mind it. Either one of those works for me.
People can feel and inspire you always. Like, this is somebody had started something and built from the scratch and made this so big. The world knows. Yeah, it's amazing.
Look, it's a really simple concept. It's a really simple concept. It's not, it's not incredibly. I don't think it's an incredibly sort of. I don't think it's an incredibly sort of.
Okay.
Innovative.
Consistency and hard work always. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think from our perspective, it's more about, look, we saw a huge gap in the market. We work and we continue to work to ensure that we plug that with, with good technology, good UI, good UX, and providing, a marketing service for people that works incredibly well, with leads sent directly to their inbox and
that's right. So how's the normal? Okay.
Sorry?
That's incredible. Amazing. So Jason, how's your normal day routine? Like from the morning till the night? Like, what is a work routine that people can learn and follow you?
Oh gosh, I wouldn't follow me. I think, no, firstly, Margaret Thatcher, the very famous British Prime Minister, got by on about 4 hours sleep. I think I probably get by on about 3. So I really enjoy work, and I'm very and I'm very lucky that I own a digital company, so I don't physically have to go to the office. So normal routine for me when I'm not being naughty, I suppose a normal routine is to get up, take the dog for a walk, go to the gym, go into the office, sort of stroll into the office, cause mayhem for a couple of hours, have lunch, and go back to the office, cause more mayhem, and then go home and spend time with Mrs. H. That would sounds like utopia, but what it normally means is
you sort of miss the dog walk and you miss the gym because you're busy in the middle of trying to sort of, sort out some beta or some tech issues or whatever it might be. Culture is very important for us as an organization. So, by being around and making sure that people could come and approach you doesn't really exist, to be fair. And I love that. I love the fact that no 2 days are the same. You could go from dealing with a geopolitical crisis that we're dealing with at the moment in the Middle East to a vineyard just down the road here that we're in the middle of that we're in the middle of representing the purchase on. So there's no 2 days are the same, and that's great. And that's, I suppose, if you love what you do, you never go to work a day in your life. And for me, that's very, very much the case, where I love real estate. I love the people that I sell homes for. I love the people that I buy homes for. You're always constantly engaged with people constantly. And that engagement can be, telephone calls at midnight, or, it can be WhatsApp messaging at whatever time it might be. And it's always my wife says that I'm always on, and I get that, and I am, but I love that. And that's, I'm quite sure I could retire and just play golf badly and sort of, put my feet up. But where's the fun in that?
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, so Jason, if not real estate, which industry would be you would be in?
I would, in light of what's going on in the world at the moment, I would love to be Secretary General of the United Nations. I've been saying this for countless years. I would definitively love to be a diplomat, and sort of maybe sort of knock people's heads together so that they don't go to war, I suppose. So if not real estate, then probably something for the United Nations or something in public service.
Okay.
I'm not entirely sure they'd have me, to be fair, but something you don't know.
I also know that you are an athlete, you used to play you are kind of in sort of some sports. So which is your favorite, and what leadership qualities you have learned from it?
So I used to play rugby, team sport, I suppose the discipline that comes with playing rugby means that you're very, well, you're very, very conscious that, I genuinely feel that with luxuryproperty.com, it's very much a team side of things that we place a great emphasis on our leadership team, on our digital teams, and our operations teams, and our brokerage teams. And I suppose what sport does is it shows you the power of teamwork and the power of good leadership, good governance, good oversight, good leadership. So rugby taught me that, I suppose, in some respects. I'm a scuba diver, and I suppose that sort of taught me the need to be self-reliant, because of course if you get it wrong, and you're, and you haven't done something quite right with your equipment, whatever it might be, then the results could be catastrophic. So I suppose what that does is it gives you a sort of, you have to be disciplined and self-reliant and trust your instincts. And in some respects that's enormously important as well. Ultimately, as the owner, as the entrepreneur, whatever phrase you guys want to call it, the responsibility and the buck stops with you ultimately. And I suppose my sporting endeavours sort of contribute to that.
Okay. What is the best advice from your parents that you ever received and that changed your life?
For my grandfather, it was always leave people wanting to do business with you twice. And I suppose what that means is, you can be very, very good at negotiating, very, very good at structuring deals, very, very good at creating specific contractual ways of getting things done. But that should be done to the benefit of both parties, not leaving one party in that transaction at a sort of, a lesser position, so to speak. And therefore, as such, leaving people that they would want to do business with you twice. And that's enormously important. And it's probably formed part of, the incredible, we enjoy an enviable reputation for excellence at metroproperty.com. And maybe some of that sort of comes through in the DNA of the company, but we try to make sure that people would elect to do business with us again, and that was wise words from my grandfather.
That's really nice to hear this. And in sales also, like in business world also, like trust is like most important thing. If people don't trust you, they won't do business with you. They don't buy your things. I think trust is the main ingredients for any source of business or sale or success in life.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. People do business with people that they like and people that they trust and that they respect, and that's so incredibly evident in the real estate space, because the investments that you're making are so huge. No matter what you're buying, it's phenomenal sums of money. So you have to trust the advice that you're being given.
Yeah. Okay. So, have you read, do you like any book that, any sort of book that changed your life in business and work? Your favorite book, your favorite, like something philosophical or motivational that you follow?
Okay, another great question. There are so many books. I'm going to give you. I read a lot, way too much.
Wow.
So I'm going to give you two books. One you may have heard of. It's called Shantaram.
Okay. Yes.
Have you ever read that book? Written by a chap called Gregory Jones, I think he is, from New Zealand, who it's a true story based in Mumbai. And it's a great book, absolutely great. And when I was in Mumbai, we used a third-party technology company to build version 1 of the website. And I went out to Mumbai and I was up there working for, 2 or 3 months, whatever it was. I was reading this book called Shantaram, and it was the most incredible experience because after work and things, I was going to all of the places that were mentioned in the book. So I was going to places like Crawford Market, Gate of India, Worli, Marine Drive, all these incredible places in Mumbai. So every time I think it's sort of, and I'm not entirely sure it had any sort of influence on the business or my mindset or anything else, but it was a beautiful story about how goodness overcomes evil in every single part of life. And a truly incredible book, and the fact that I was actually in the city that was being written about at the same time was great. So they're really, really good fun. One of the parts of the book was in Koroba. Well, one was Leopold's restaurant, and then the other one was, so I was having supper whilst reading the book about Leopold's restaurant. It was great. And then the other part was Koroba police station, and the guy got arrested, put into the police station. We made friends with one of the police officers, blah blah blah. So I went to the police station and I said, I'm reading this book. Is there any chance I can have a McGram? I thought the gentleman thought I was mad. That was like, oh, okay, maybe that's not a good idea. And then my second favorite book is, and I'm not quite sure who the author is, but it's a book called The Art of Racing in the Rain. And it's a story told by a dog about his owner, who's a racing car driver. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. You will be in floods of tears as you're reading it. It's desperately sad, but it's a really, really good book. So I don't think any of them have had a material impact on my business life, but definitely material impact on me as an individual.
Okay. And now we have to wrap up this conversation. Thank you, Jason, for being with us and letting everyone sharing your story, and they will inspire from you and learn a lot of things from you. I'm very much sure about this. And guys, please follow luxuryproperty.com. And yeah. So Jason, do you have any final message for the listeners of our channel and who are like hustling and feeling bad, like they are down or bounce back? They want to bounce back in life. It's a final message to the followers.
I think if it was easy, everybody would do it. Be cognizant that it takes time, and it takes time to achieve what you're trying to achieve. And lastly, be kind. Kindness always wins, and it will come back to you tenfold when you're adopting that mindset. So,
absolutely.
I've thoroughly enjoyed our chat this evening. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Jason. It was a pleasure to have you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Speak to you again. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, take care. See you soon.